Welcome back to Wines du Jour. We're having a good time here at El Segundo Sol, having some good Mexican food and good Mexican wines. That's kind of unusual in America to have both. You get down to Mexico, you can do that all right, but it's pretty tough to find Mexican wines along with good Mexican food. In fact, in Mexico, Mexican food is good just about everywhere you go to. But in America, Mexican food is kind of hard to find in a very good quality. I want to talk just a real quick moment about the Tempranillo that was part of our first wine, and then we'll break over into wine number 2. The flavor profiles of Tempranillo, I wrote this down, so I want to share it with you. The characteristics are plum, cherry, strawberry, and often mixed with what we call mineral, and here's a new term that we've been using for about 10 years in the wine business, minerality. Oh, that's a new word. And you know, Chardonnay comes out, and all of a sudden they're starting to say, boy, this Chardonnay has a lot of minerality, and everybody's going, what the hell is minerality? Well, now we know what it is and how it tastes, and believe it or not, right here in this Tempranillo, we have a little bit of minerality that's very, very good. Okay, let's go to wine number 2. Number 2 is a wine that's simply called Tinta Mexico 2010. 2010 being the year the grapes grew, and we now have it. It is a combination of 2 varietals as well, not Tempranillo, but instead Barbera. Now, you may or may not have ever heard of Barbera. We'll talk a little bit about that. And with it, a wine that's blended is something that I'm sure you've already heard of called Merlot, or if you're from Texas, Merlot. So we have Barbera and Merlot blended together. And this is not a high alcohol wine. It's only about 14%. And I say by today's standards, that's reasonable or less in terms of quality, not quality, but the amount percentage of alcohol. Because frankly, the higher the alcohol content, the less it pairs with food. High alcohol and food don't go well together, contrary to those that have martinis with their dinner. You know what I mean? That's not a good thing, taste-wise. So what I'm saying is, by being able to have this combination of Barbera and Merlot, you end up with a taste that I think is pretty good. And I'm going to ask Rogelio if he'll tell us a little bit about how it tastes and maybe even if you know why you did it.
Well, this wine is good attack, presenting sourness, and also in the color is a red color.
Nice cherry red color.
Nice cherry red color, exactly.
Yeah.
And with the smell, it smells like fruit.
Right.
And with herbaceous, also something herbaceous.
One of the things about this also is when you taste it, and then you get it in your mouth and you hold it for a few seconds or so, and then you swallow it. It is very silky. You know, I talked before, the first wine had a long, lingering finish to it. This is more of a silky taste to it. Do you agree? And you can tell that silkiness when you just put maybe a half ounce or 3/4 of an ounce of wine in your mouth, and it just feels silky. The top of your mouth and your tongue, it has that silkiness to it, and I think that's very good. This goes outstanding with tomato. Again, another red wine with tomato sauce. That's a good thing. But I wanted to tell you specifically. I wrote a couple things down about this particular combination. Hold on, just a second. Let me find it. Before I do that, there's something more important that I need to talk to you about. When you buy a bottle of this wine now, coming to America from Mexico, on the back label, they've done, I don't know who had the idea, but I applaud them for it, a real good idea of putting what they call the taste sensory information on the back. Tell us a little bit about that, if you would.
Yeah. Santo Tomas did a huge study in Mexico, 10,000 people study on how to pair their wines with the correct food. So on each bottle you get to buy, it makes it real easy for you to make the right decision, whether it's sushi, whether it's tacos, whether it's mole or pizza. They make it really easy for you to pick out because it's right on the back of the label. They explain to you, this wine goes great with this wine goes that. It also explains to you the acidity level, whether it's a sweeter wine, whether it's more bitter. So you're able to make the right decision real easily without having to waste your money. Right from the beginning, you get a great buy.
Well, that sounds good. And they also have put this in a booklet. Am I correct?
Right.
And this booklet is available. If you go in and buy a couple bottles of wine, you can get this booklet. You're in. We got to go to a break again. Time flies when you're having fun. So hang on. We'll be back coast to coast and around the world on the internet in just a few moments. Be right back.
Switch to DirecTV today and get a free upgrade to the all-new Genie, our most advanced HD DVR ever. Genie serves your entire home with just one receiver, allows you to record any 5 shows at once, and gives you up to 3 times more HD recording capacity than cable. Order now and lock in your savings for 2 years. Other packages start at just $29.99 a month. So get all your TV wishes granted. Switch to DirecTV and get your free upgrade to Genie today.